there are tons of different variables that determine whether or not you land in the primary inbox or the spam folder. So in this video, we'll be covering two really important aspects. One is known as SPF, and the other is DKIM, or DKIM. And all they do is they tell somebody who's receiving your email that you did in fact have permission to send using the domain you sent from. If you don't have it set up, your domain might be prone to spoofing and other vulnerabilities. Let's walk you through how to set this up to make sure you land in the primary inbox more often. Let's dive in. So we're going to start with setting up an SPF record. So to start, you want to hop into a sheet or something of this kind. And what you want to do is you want to make a list of all the marketing tools that you're using. So if you set your email up on Google, obviously click Google, maybe you're using MailChimp or possibly using auth or something of that nature. And basically just make a list of all your tools here. You can see currently we have Google, MailChimp, and SendGrid. Okay, great. So the next thing to do is to make sure that we're giving Google, MailChimp, and SendGrid, tools that we're using to send emails, permission to send on behalf of our own domain. And that's what you do with an SPF record. So these are what SPF records look like. You can see I grouped them together. And for example, if I go into Google and quickly search for Google SPF record, Google SPF record, there we go. Add your SPF, help prevent. Let's see which one is correct. When we scroll down, you can see there's a little article here. So here's how to set it up in your DNS, create an SPF record specifically for Google. However, you can only have one SPF record at a time. So if you're using multiple services, you actually just want one SPF record that is applicable to all the different services that you're using. So you can just go ahead and copy this, go over to that sheet. And again, you just want to paste it down, which you can see I did previously. Then just repeat these steps for MailChimp, SendGrid, and any other tools that you're using. And that's all you need to do. So I've gone ahead and already searched them all. Google, here's their SPF record. Mantrolop, here's theirs. Here's SendGrid's. So great. So the next thing is we want to combine them all. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, you can see inside of all of them, they all have include, SendGrid, some kind of like web address, right, in the inside. And they all start with V equals SPF1, and they all end with all or some variation of all. So let's go ahead and just copy this includes from SendGrid, and I'll build it down here. I'll click space, click paste. There we go. It will also include, so we have Google, SendGrid, will also include MailChimp with Mantrolop. Copy that, click space and paste. There we go. And now what you want to do, you want to finish setting this up using the all method. So you can have this, you can have a question mark, or you can have a dash. I personally recommend the dash. That means reject anything that's not included within this SPF record. If you're unsure which marketing tools you're using, it might be better to do a little squiggly line or even a question mark. Question mark's going to accept all. I prefer the dash, which is reject all if they're not approved by this SPF record. So then you go ahead and we'll go ahead and copy this, copy. We'll go over to our DNS of our domain. We'll click add a new record. Scroll down, we'll click text record. There we go. Host at value, paste it down, and then just click save. And there we go. That's how you set up your SPF record. Now let's hop into authenticating email using DKIM. So DKIM is a little different. It's usually applicable to the email service you're using. In this case, we're using Google Workspace. So we'll hop into Google Workspace to set it up. So hop into Google Workspace. You go to apps, click Google Workspace, go down to Gmail, go over to authenticate email. Select the domain you want to use. There you go. And then you want to click generate new record. So I'll go ahead and click this. And depending on whether or not you're using Namecheap or some other domain provider, you may have to do 100 or 1024-bit DKIM key as opposed to 2048. I know Namecheap works for 2048, so we'll go ahead and use that. We'll click generate. And there we go. So now we just need to add this text record to our DNS. So I'll go ahead and copy this. Copy. Go back over here. We'll click new record. Scroll down, click text record. There's the host. And now the value, which is this long value here. We'll click copy. Again, we'll paste it down. We can click the checkbox. There we go. Now DKIM should be set up. Now we just want to go over to Google Workspace. And again, let's verify it. Start authentication. This may take a couple minutes, so I'll skip ahead in the video just so you don't have to wait along with me. Okay, so it's been some time. Now let's give it another try. And there we go. We are now actively authenticating our domain. If you ever want to stop or generate a new record, again, you can just do it from the same page. And there you go. That's how you set up SPF DKIM records to ensure you're maximizing your deliverability. We'll see you in the next lesson.